It's episode 153 of Play PSVR 2, the podcast. The hits keep coming. Alex, we have a lot to cover tonight. I'm excited. I got to be honest, Alex. After last week, I was upset. Or last episode, I was upset. I'm feeling better where I'm at in VR right now, tonight. And, of course, we're going to get into why. But, I mean, I think you're going to like this side of it.
I can't tell if you're setting me up for a trap or if it's just like you got a good night's sleep or something. Because last time I talked to you, you were like, I'm out of the game. This is it. I'm done with this. Go to hell, Sony.
Right now, I am in a good spot. My heart, my soul is where it needs to be. Now, your dad, I hate to hear that he's addicted to Viagra, that is. I heard your mom is the one taking it the hardest. So I apologize for your family. And Alex doesn't even get it.
I get it.
Do you remember the old Enzyte commercials with the dude with the hose?
Did you know that dude's dead?
What?
He went crazy. There's something about him, the Enzyte dude. Yeah, he went crazy. I don't know if he killed somebody. Yeah, he's gone.
Dude, I love those commercials. Why are people so afraid to be original and
erect
and erect like us? That's why we're still here. We bring in the VR space. We're the Enzyte guys of virtual reality. How's that make you feel?
Makes me feel erect. His name was Smiling Bob, by the way. I'm looking it up. I can't let this go.
Yeah, I remember the stupid song. Do 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 do.
Do 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 do.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, well, you looked that up. I'm going to cover my gamer juice real quick. It's simple. I should have gone out and gotten something. I'm sorry, guys. This is my bad. I did not. So I have just lemon water.
You're turning into me. You love VR again.
It's a lot. It's borderline lemonade without the sugar. But yeah, I mean, I did go to Taco Bell for lunch, and I was like, oh, I'll get my gamer juice now. But I'm not going to get it and then sit there for 10 hours in the fridge. And then I didn't go back out of the house. So I just really didn't have an option. I only drink water normally. This podcast is the only time I drink something that isn't water. So I just blew the opportunity. I'm sorry. You can lambaste me in the comments. Alex, hopefully you are making up for my incompetency.
First, I just realized, I got to mention, I'm sick. My kids got me sick. So if I sound weird, that's why. I'll be sniffly. Adam, what did you get at Taco Bell? Have you had the street chalupas yet?
No, the issue I have been having, we're going to go. I had a cheesy bean and rice burrito. One. I had a single one.
That's a diarrhea machine, yeah.
I've never had diarrhea from Taco Bell, especially those, and I eat them quite a bit, so I don't know what's up with your stomach.
Maybe you're always having diarrhea and you just don't know it.
Oh, yeah. I go to Taco Bell when I eat too much, and the thing is, a cheesy bean and rice burrito is like 420 calories.
Yeah.
You don't think, you're just like, oh, I'm going to have a couple burritos. That's half your daily allotment of calories, dog. You can't eat anything else. I don't think like that. I order like 4 things.
Yeah.
But is it because I need to? No. I need to stop that. So today I was impressed with myself. The issue is you go through there, you get one item, and you're like, why'd I even go? Was it even worth going? And it's this internal battle nonstop.
That's a good point. Yeah, because I go about once a week. I have a commute I have to do, and I stop. I get a stacker with steak. And then I get 2 spiced potato soft tacos, and then I get whatever my du jour item is. That's a lot of calories, but I usually don't eat anything leading into it. But the chicken street chalupas are so good. But last time I went, they said they were out of flatbread. I took that as a sign I needed to go on a diet. So I just got the 2 spiced potato soft tacos and a chicken stacker, which is probably like 1,200 calories.
Probably. Okay, what's your gamer juice? We got so much to cover.
Boss. Japanese coffee in a can. Boss.
Oh. Boss. Is the guy Japanese?
He's Japanese, but Tommy Lee Jones, the actor, that guy from Men in Black, he's like the spokesperson for this.
I was going to say, it looks like an American guy, and I was like, that's sketchy.
you'll see his face on all the commercials trying to look like this dude. But yeah, this stuff is great. In Japan in the winter when it's really really cold, they have like the opposite refrigerator. I guess they're called heaters. They have heaters full of these things, and you pay like 99 cents, and you get one of these, and they're super hot. And you can walk around town holding on to one because it keeps you warm. But yeah, I love this stuff.
Oh, nice.
It's
Okay.
just black coffee down the hatch, baby.
Wow. Black coffee. All right.
Gonna
So
be up all night.
we're gonna start with listener shout outs because I feel like that's the way it should go. Put the people first. We do it for you, the people. I haven't read these. Alex,
Let me do the first. Yeah, I'll read these and then you respond. Okay. First one, Corporate Zombie. I played a game of Battlezone with him. I think he actually got a recording of it, so we might get that posted. I think he might post it on his channel. I got to review it first. I don't know if he's recording. But that's Battlezone. Battlezone on PCVR was great. Adam, weren't you going to play with this? What happened?
it doesn't work. I just can't get it to work. I spend 40 once I prepped, and once I hit the 30-minute mark of not being able to get it up and play with you guys, I quit. I'm just so over it. I refuse to waste 30 minutes of my life every time I want to play a game. I'm not doing it. But thank you, Zombie, for playing with Alex. Glad you guys had a good time. It's a quality game, right? I mean, it's a good game.
And just let it be known, Adam said it's been about 30 minutes. He still couldn't get it up. Matty Matt, he said, this will make you jealous. I didn't even have to buy anything to play my PSVR 2 on PC. I plugged it directly into my 2080 Ti graphics card USB-C port, and the inbuilt Bluetooth on my 2017 motherboard works fine. I was playing Half Life Alyx within 5 minutes.
I don't understand how, because the hardware isn't the problem. It's the software. Steam VR is the biggest steaming pile of crap I have ever seen in my life. I think Steam VR is really the root of my problems. But anyhow, I did notice you potentially didn't need the hardware. I hoped that I had the correct card, and unfortunately, obviously, I did not. But good for you, Matty Matt. Thanks for rubbing it in, jerk.
It is pretty. I mean, I don't mind about the hardware, right? Because I just plug it in once and it's there. But it is pretty cool that some people playing VR with PSVR 2 on their PCs, just as simple as it is to do it on the PlayStation 5. I had a 2070 Super, but I had the one 2070 Super that doesn't have the virtual link port, so I didn't get that one. But yeah, good for you, Matty Matt, you son of a. Tom Telfer sent in a long comment. I think he's back listening to us because of the Tom Telfer play of the week. I'll read the highlights here. Good show. Adam's cranky near capitulation and feelings of abandonment from Sony is coming through. Alex, nice job keeping things grounded with the onslaught. Oh, despite the onslaught of babyish it no work, Adam said. Engagement and viewership slightly trending up, which is positive. Adam, obviously, you can't give up on the Sony adapter. PC VR is a gift, and you should dust off your best prayer rug and kneel towards Japan and give proper thanks to Sony for the opportunity to expand your viewership. Then he goes on to say a bunch of stuff here. And then he said, finally, consider putting a bit of effort into making more interesting thumbnails, which will drive clicks. Oh, and no more of those hotel room shitty audio junkin' stream of conscious videos. Watched 5 minutes, dropped my head into my hands, and sadly stopped watching. Come on, you're better than that. Before you comment, Adam, Tom Telfer, that episode has like the best 15 minutes of our show ever with Gym Girl Update. You need to go back and suffer through the audio quality because it is the best our podcast has ever been. Okay, Adam, your comments.
Yeah, the thing is, I love this guy. He just comes full. What's the phrase? Full stock and barrel, whatever that is.
Lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels. Yeah.
Whatever it is, I love it. He'll just roast us. Where's the roast box when we need it? It's coming in Halloween. Tom Telfer, you're in the lead, man. I mean, not that it's like overly grotesque or anything, but you just really let us have it. My thing is, honestly, I know the quality is worse on our Orlando video, on our Los Angeles video, on last year, where were we when we went to the
Houston?
Not Alf, but
the fitness, Houston.
Yeah, the fitness, yeah. Like, I know the quality isn't as good, but personally, those are my favorite ones. Orlando was my favorite episode, the favorite collaboration you and I ever did, Alex, because it was, and I was bummed because no one really said much, but like we went to like a Comic-Con, we were at a pinball place, we were out by the pool, we went to all these places. I was in a freaking Camaro telling jokes. You can't find content better than that. But thank you for the suggestions. I can't wait to, tell you a bit more about my PC. Like I said, Tom, it started better. I'm coming around. Right now, I am happier than I was last week. I'll tell you why shortly. And I'm still giving Sony no credit. They still suck. But thank you for listening regardless. We love you.
Adam, remind me. I have a thumbnail idea for Tom Telfer for this episode when we get done recording.
Do we have his face like in YouTube?
No, I wish. That's not what it is, but that's a good idea.
Okay.
We should try it. Tom Telfer, send us your face. You'll be on the show.
Yes.
Void Citizen sent in. I think the most important point here is 2/3 of y'all are tired of playing Quest games, and Sony hasn't announced anything worthwhile since Resident Evil 4. That sucks. You got to get the games you really want to play on Steam and mod them. LOL, even Sony games. Or get the good old VR games from 2016 that apparently aren't worth porting to PS5, also on Steam. Even Call of the Mountain and Synapse are just Quest games with good graphics. LOL. Void Citizen has always been a hater, and I think he's a Quest fanboy. I could be wrong. Could be getting it mixed up. I feel like this is just you commenting.
No, I agree with some of what he said. Right? Like, I am sick of playing Quest games. That's why I don't want this on PC VR, because I want people making specifically Sony exclusive for this headset games. But, dude, I'm sorry. Synapse is not. I viewed the Steam library, and I'm assuming the Quest library and Steam library are very similar.
Very similar, yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. But there's nothing on there that's like Synapse, dog. I'm sorry. You're wrong on that one. But everything else, for the most part, okay.
If he says Synapse is a Quest game with good graphics, there's nothing about Synapse that's a Quest game. Maybe the scope is a bit narrow, which makes it feel like a Quest game. But the stuff you do, the haptics are integral to the gameplay. The eye tracking is integral to the gameplay. The features of the PSVR 2 are integral to the gameplay of Synapse. It could not be done on any other headset. Oh, it's so good.
It's incredible. And what I love about it is it's so original. Like, I know the whole, like, mind trippy type games, that may not be an original concept, but the gameplay, I've never played anything like it.
Yeah.
That is what I love. I've never played a game like, Synapse. That's what I want. I want people being creative. I think they nailed it out of the park. Don't agree with that. Okay, what's next?
Stupid Donkey just said, who are these guys? I don't know if he's talking about us or if he's still playing Firewall Zero by himself.
I don't know either, but he knows who we are.
He knows.
I think after that, I did read that one. I think I made a comment about his mom, maybe, or something.
Yeah, then you went on one of your tirades about. I think every person that commented got a mom thing from you.
Yes, mothers for the win.
Some mother discussion, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, Alex, let's cover what we're playing. This isn't going to be like we got a Tom Telfer play of the week coming up, so don't give me a whole freaking
I won't give you a whole
review
spiel,
here. But yeah, what'd you play?
Played Battlezone with our buddy Corporate Zombie. That was good. I played it a couple times on my own because I wanted to test getting the dual sense working on my PC, and man, I could just play through that game. It just feels good. I played Compound. I'll be doing an informal review of that later. I played a Medieval VR. Have you heard of that game, Adam?
Never even heard of it.
It's you ever heard of like Heretic or Hexen, like those old Doom type games?
No.
Like an old school first person shooter, like the old Dooms. It's like that, but in VR. It's surprisingly good, pretty easy. Music's really good. And then I played a lot of Half Life Alyx. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, so obviously Half Life Alyx. I wanted to play it. I wanted to kind of burn through it. I really pushed hard to finish it this week. It's obviously the best. Probably the PC VR is going to have to offer, right? I'm sick of hearing about it. I'm sick of Shafe Dog saying it's incredible. I'm sick of you saying it's mesmerizing. I'm sick of all the talk of Half Life Alyx. Happy to say that I did play it. I did beat it, and we will get to talk about it shortly. And then you won't believe this, Alex. I played Special Delivery.
What? Is it on PC?
It's no, it's not on PC. It's a little Special Delivery I had. Where is it? Right there. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to see, and I know for those only listening to audio, you don't see it. This is my shipping label for after I put my adapter on eBay, sold it, and I now no longer have my adapter. That's why I'm so happy. After Battlezone, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and I freaking beat Half Life Alyx. I wouldn't stop. I beat it. I put the thing on eBay. I effing sold it. Where's it going to? Have fun, Sean in Memphis, Tennessee, because you got a biggest pile of steaming crap. And before you ask, no, I may have made like $7. I didn't scalp it like some of these freaking buttholes do, but I couldn't do it, Alex. Every time it ruined the experience. I was so freaking angry every time I had to play VR. The Battlezone. When I couldn't play with you guys, I could have murdered someone. If I would have seen a puppy, I would have kicked it and ripped its spine out of its rectum. I was so mad. I can't effing take it. I've deleted Steam off my computer. I've given 2 fingers to my GPU. I know it's not its fault. Now, what I do feel bad about, and actually the reason I wanted to do the fan shout outs first is because I wanted to give you a shout out. Alex is a good guy, all right? He saw that I was struggling, that I was having issues. He bought me a special Bluetooth adapter. He gave me this long extender cord, which ultimately did help some, but so I feel bad that I'm leaving you hanging, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So that's why I'm happy. F you, Sony, dickwads. I'm going back to the PS5, baby. And if they don't produce games on it, well, like I said, congrats. They ruined 153 good freaking episodes and probably a friendship because I'm never going to talk to you again.
Adam, so just so people know, I offered multiple times to just have a phone call to Adam so I can show him, because I know he's doing it wrong. You guys don't know the hours of time it takes me to get Adam to connect his audio properly every time we set up one of these calls. And I wanted Adam to just get on the phone with me when he's trying to set up his VR. No, BS, bullcrap. I got it. Don't worry. And then an hour later, it's time for us to play Battlezone. I couldn't figure it out. I hate it. Dude sticking the Bluetooth dongle up his butt and why didn't it connect? I feel it. I can't use it. I feel it.
Hey, I played Half Life Alyx. I finished it.
You probably got that no VR mod. You played it in flat or something. I bet Adam played Half Life Alyx with the no VR mod in cinematic mode with his VR headset on and was like, "Oh, this sucks."
Well, here's the thing, dog. The Battlezone thing really was the tipping point. However, what made me feel good about my decision, and this is going to lead into Half Life Alyx, by no means am I saying it's not a really good game, because it is. But I sat there and I felt all the frustrating of getting everything together. And even when things went smoothly, it just wasn't, it was annoying. I had to move my setup over, walk over to my computer, turn on the PlayStation app, then open Steam, and then Steam VR. And I know this probably isn't like normal, but if I, for example, played Half Life Alyx for like 2 hours, the first time I played it was fine. I turn off all the apps, all that stuff. I go later in the day to play it again. Steam VR just would not work, and it would not shut down. I had to restart my computer, and then it worked okay. But that whole process, I can't do it. You should plug it effing in, and it should freaking work. That is ridiculous. You got to step through and do everything in a specific effing order. So I'm not doing it. So I played Half-Life Alyx. It's a very good game. We're going to talk about it. But when I sat there and I said, if this is the absolute best that PC VR has to offer, I hate to break it to all of you. And go ahead, rip me a new one. Dude, it's not better than Resident Evil. It's just not. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So it's like, what am I gaining other than playing a bunch of quest games by going through all of this crap? Battlezone was the only thing that would make me potentially keep it. But then we all know, Alex, at some point, you're already playing like 4 games a week. we're not going to play Battlezone weekly. So it's just, I couldn't do it. And when I sat there, I was like, if that's the best I'm going to get, I'll stick with the PS5. And maybe down the road I'll be an idiot and I'll end up buying it again. At least I have everything set up. We'll have to re-download Steam. But so there it is. Alex didn't know that. So rate me out of 1 out of 10. How big of an idiot am I? I know you want to rate me.
I mean, so here's the thing. This was a bit foreshadowed by a lot of people. Because they knew there were a lot of PlayStation 5, PSVR 2 users who were going to jump into PCVR and expect the same quality of life that you get from the PS5. Because it is magical, and I think it's a bit understated how nice it is to take the headset, plug it in, bam, I'm playing a game. The PlayStation 5 screen is in my face, and I'm playing a game. I've played PC games a long time, and I know that it's about maybe 8 out of 10 times you play a game on PC, you start it, it doesn't work, and then you got to go in settings to figure out what's going on with it. VR more so, because not only can your computer not run the game or not, but then you have the weirdness of the headset that you have to deal with, the weirdness of the controllers and the tracking you have to deal with. So it doesn't surprise me that this is extremely frustrating for you. If you're not willing to put up with that, and I'm someone who tinkers with computer stuff a lot, I'm willing to put up with that. Then yeah, it's going to be. There's already enough inertia to just play VR games instead of flat games in general, right? Putting a headset on, like getting yourself ready to put a headset on and play a game, takes more energy, takes more gumption than it does to just like sit on the couch and like turn it on with a controller and play. So if you don't enjoy tinkering with this stuff, you're not going to play it. I don't blame you for sending it back. And to be honest, to really enjoy some of the really special stuff in PCVR, you're going to have to look at the mod scene, and that's like 10 times worse in terms of
yeah,
like,
there's no way I would
mess. Like I love Outer Wilds, and so I'll do whatever it takes to play Outer Wilds in VR. So I'll tinker with it all day. Same with like Risk of Rain 2. I love that game. I'll do whatever it takes to get that up and running. But I don't know, like, unless there was like an amazing Nier Automata experience or like a brilliant Kingdom Hearts VR thing, which there isn't any of that on PC VR. I don't know that there's anything that I could point you to and you'd be like, yeah, Battlezone was the best bet, right? Battlezone was our best shot to get you into keeping and using this PC VR thing. So I can't blame you. I can't blame you for it. It's,
Tom Telfer, actually, Void Citizen will probably be okay. Tom Telfer, stupid donkeys. People are definitely going to be, ooh, sucks. But you know what? I'm a happier man now. I haven't been this happy since the day before I got the adapter in. So, I mean, now I did waste some money. I spent $100 on Steam games I'm never going to use. Whatever.
I think you might be able to refund them if you if you played less than 2 hours or something.
I'm a past the due date. Yeah, it's less than 2 hours and within 14 days of.
Oh, okay.
I looked. Yeah, I'm boned. Anyhow, let's talk about Half Life Alyx because, like I said, I did enjoy the game. It is a class act experience and game. I love the fact it was a full-fledged game. There was no dicking around. Had a
no compromises, right?
Exactly. I love that. I love the Valve logo in opening screen. That is the one thing I liked that more than the game. Every time I booted it up, it's weird, and the resolution was insanely detailed, and it was like, I wish that logo embodied a game, because I would buy the adapter again to play that game. It's just, I don't know what it is. I freaking love it's on the back of the head, and I don't know what it is. I love it, dude. I love it. Anyhow, so I love the fact that was obviously a full game. Graphics looked very good. The level design was pretty good. There were some points in the game I was like, that's really clever. They're really smart. They kept you on your toes. Some of it was a little cliche. I found some of it to be kind of like annoying. Like, it makes sense they had it, and I don't blame them for having it. For example, there's one room where you have to disable a bunch of tripwires, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
And to use your tool, there's like a little mini game you have to do to disable it. like I understand why they had one room that was you have to very carefully do all of that. But like in the moment, I was like, I freaking hate this. There was another room where it was a bunch of explosions or a bunch of cans that would explode, and there were some enemies, and then
Oh yeah, that yeah.
that like it. I bet I died 15 times. I was so aggravated, and
How did you keep dying in that room? I played that just a little bit ago, and I was surprised that it was done so quickly.
I don't know. I guess I suck. You nothing can hit. Well, first, I don't want to go into it. I understand what it was creative, but I found it pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Then at the very end of the game, there was some cool stuff, but a lot of they really skirted the line, in my opinion, of like I never really knew where I was going. I don't want to say all the time. A lot of the time I was like, what the F am I supposed to do? Or where am I supposed to go? And I got so close to being really perturbed and angry, but I never crossed over into it. They like really skirted that line really well. Because you don't want it too easy, right? Because then
Yeah.
it's like, it's too linear and too obvious. But then obviously, if it's so convoluted, you're going to be like, oh, I hate this. I think one time I had to look up a walkthrough because I was literally like, I don't know what to do.
Was that at the train station?
Mm,
That was when I first played
no.
it. That was the one time I got stuck. There's a part where you have to like get a train to crash or something like that. I can't remember why it got me stuck, but I was like, I ran back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That one I was fine. I know where you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, it was somewhat like near the end of the game, and it was just, I don't know. It didn't make any sense. But there was a stupid hidden thing behind a board that I couldn't figure out. Like
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're doing the electrical circuits, and there's
Yeah.
one where you have to like take the picture off the wall to follow the circuit, and if you don't do that, you don't. It's a yeah. And
yeah.
there's so much stuff like on the walls in general that you can't interact with. It doesn't really make sense that you would like take that off the wall. I remember when I accidentally hit it with my hand and it fell. It surprised me.
Ah, nice. Yeah. So let's see. So that I like that. It's I'm trying to think.
Let's talk about gameplay components. So, I mean, the story was probably all right for you, but you haven't played the other Half-Life games, right? So it's a bit meaningless, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I knew there was probably a little more to it.
Was G-Man cool? The dude in the suit?
Uh,
Bit spooky.
well, I want to wait. I'm just hesitating because I don't want if people haven't played it, I don't want there to be like spoilers.
You don't have to say what he did. Just qualitatively, how did you feel about G-Man? Was he a cool character? Was it stupid?
Is that the black guy or the dude at the
No,
very end?
it's a dude at the very end in the suit.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know who the black guy was, and he showed up only a few times.
That's your dad. That's Alex's
No,
dad.
no. I'm talking about the dude who looked like he was in a superhero outfit, and he was also black.
I don't remember that guy.
Yeah, you'll see it at the end. Anyhow, no, he wasn't creepy. I don't know. It was just like the ending I would give. Of course, if the ending is leading into another game, which you told me afterward, I mean, it's hard to have a really good ending when that's your goal, right?
So the thing is the ending of the game is actually also the ending of the second Half-Life 2 game. So Half-Life 2 Episode 2. So a flat game that came out years ago had an ending. This game ends at the same time, and so it's kind of a dovetail thing, and it's really nice. You don't realize that's happening until you get to the end. But
yeah. So I mean, that's cool. The gameplay was good.
How about the gloves, man? The Russells.
They were all right. The one thing that all of it I thought was like pretty standard. It was all right. The guns were a little easier to use than maybe like Resident Evil, but they weren't so simple. They were better than like Vertigo 2, which is just like simply or essentially playing with a Fisher Price toy. But
what was your favorite gun?
I had to be submachine gun, easily.
You drop the clip in and then it drops it because it's just an energy cell. Super
Yeah.
cool.
I really liked how you could pick stuff up and have it thrown at you.
See, that's amazing. That is such, because think about, this game came out before VR was really a thing, and they like nailed it in the first try to like picking things up. Picking things up in VR sucks, and they nailed it. You see something across the room. Now imagine if eye tracking worked. I mean, I guess that's Synapse, right? If eye tracking worked,
That's the one issue I had. Is I guess 'cause I'm used to the PSVR 2, I kept looking at it and doing this, and it kept bringing the wrong objects.
Yeah.
But I mean, ultimately, it's not like that big of a deal. I would much rather do that, and it's kind of cool catching them, like kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
It's much better than having to bend over and pick something off the floor. So that I think was cool. But yeah, I mean, I think the guns and things were fine in my opinion. I don't think it was like the highlight of the game or anything. I mean, speaking of not having highlights, my issues with the game, but now I think it's a little unfair to the game possibly because it came out, years ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So in today's standard, I still feel like it wasn't like that original. It did a lot of things well, but I wasn't like horribly motivated to play. What motivated me to finish it was I'm selling this adapter and I've already sold it. I have 2 days before I have to ship it out. That's what motivated me to finish it. Not, wow, I'm having a really good time, or I'm really curious what the plot, is going to end up being. Yeah, I mean, again, good game, but I wanted to see something different. Like, that's all I want, guys. Like, it's killing me. That's why I like the PSVR library better. You never knew what you were going to get. And just the fact that, I played through and I really don't think it's better than Resident Evil. Now, I will say, if you want the same quality of game, but you don't want the horror or adult aspects, I think you would like this game better, admittedly. But for me personally, I never felt a visceral response in this game. Where even Resident Evil's like I did. Like I was scared and I was like, I wish I had a heart rate monitor. Anyhow, so definitely glad I played it. It's now checked off my list. I think I would have to pull up our list of where I would rank it.
I don't think we're gonna rank it, but yeah, it's.
I mean, I want to rank it for myself. Like, where would I? Maybe we'll do that in the next segment.
Yeah.
Obviously, easily top 10. Maybe even top 5. I mean, we've got what? 2 Resident Evils. Gosh, would I put that? The thing is, I feel like Gran Turismo is more impressive.
Yeah.
This was ultimately more fun to play because you're just freaking driving a driving simulator. Like, it's not even Wipeout. It's like an actual simulator, which I don't love. So, I have issues, conflicting with those. I forgot what our 4th and 5th games were. Synapse is up there.
Yeah, so I'll pull up the list here. I'll pull up the list.
I mean, I definitely had more fun in Synapse than I did this.
Crossfire is number 4. Synapse is number 5.
Crossfire requires a second person to be fun, though.
Yeah.
It's very good. But I think that requires a second. Where would you put it? You've already played the game, first of all. You haven't finished it this time. It's better in PSVR 2 here, right?
Yeah, so I played it. When I played it using a Quest 2 with like the wireless thing. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. But the thing about the PSVR 2 is that the blacks are so black. So there's areas where like the darkness is really an element of the gameplay. And it means nothing on like a Quest because the dark areas are just gray. So the part you were talking about where you're trying to navigate through that like explosive room, on Quest, it was nothing. It was like, oh, I can still see where I'm going. So it's not that bad. But on PSVR 2, like you got to have your flashlight pointed where you want to go, or you're not going to see a damn thing outside of the flashlight field. That makes it great. The controllers just overall work better. The field of view's wider, so that makes it more impressive. There's things about the game I don't remember. Like early on, you get the pistol and you have that little scope on the pistol. And if you look through the scope at enemies, you can find like hot spots that you can shoot to like one shot them. I don't know. I just never noticed that with the Quest when I played it then, but now I'm noticing it now. It makes it more fun. just overall, it feels great and wonderful. It feels better than I remember it, and might be because I turned the difficulty up, so the moment to moment gameplay is more intense. That's one thing that like you're not going to notice because you just played one difficulty level, but when you turn up the difficulty, things get different. You get less health, enemies become more complicated to beat, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I would put it above Gran Turismo 7. I would have it because Resident Evil 8 and Resident Evil 4, they're kind of tied for me right now on PSVR 2.
You can't say that. You haven't played Resident Evil 4.
I know. Okay. All right. Then I haven't played Resident Evil 4. So my list then is Resident Evil 8 and Gran Turismo 7. I don't know if I like it better than Resident Evil 8 or not. I'll just say that. So it's tied for me for number one. Putting Gran Turismo at 3. But yeah, it's a classic game.
I don't know if we have time to get into it. The segment may need to carry over. You obviously are very motivated, and you're playing Half Life Alyx. What is it that you'll play this game, but one of your favorite games, at least I thought of all time in Resident Evil 4, you won't play?
I think it's because Half Life Alyx gets going pretty quickly. Resident Evil 4, I guess it gets going pretty quickly, but then there's like a lull where you're slowly building yourself up to where it really feels like it hits its stride. Also, I'll admit the horror aspect of Resident Evil makes it a bit rougher to want to play at any time of the day. I also know that Resident Evil 4 for me, the 2 or 3 times I've played it, like I always feel like, man, this drags on way too long. And so I kind of am hesitant to jump into that thing that I know is going to, like, it's a commitment. It's a long game to play. But
Still longer than Half Life Alyx, though.
It's longer than Half Life Alyx for sure. Half Life Alyx is like a 6-hour game or something.
That's not true at all. It's a good 10-hour game. I was watching it. Yeah. It was 10, 12 hours, big dog. I don't remember how long Resident Evil 4 is, but it's got to be close. Now, maybe if you know what you're doing in Half Life Alyx, it's a lot faster, but it took me at least 10 hours.
See, what's disappointing is if you get Half Life Alyx to run fine, I know you're not going to like it, but there are mods. People mod Half-Life games and make excellent mods out of them. Like Counter-Strike was originally a mod of Half-Life, and it's solid, and it spawned its own little genre. There are mods for Half-Life Alyx in VR that are great. There's a mod that's BioShock in VR on the Half-Life engine. There's mods that are you're John Wick walking through hotels and stuff, fighting hitmen. That's great because it's the Half-Life engine, but in VR. So you're going to miss out on that. Also, Half-Life 2, an excellent, just flat first-person shooter game, that has a full VR mod that's great. But nonetheless, Adam, I'm glad you got to experience Half-Life Alyx. You know what? You almost got to experience without having to do too much commitment. You just had to buy the game. And then, next time a PC game comes out you want to play, you'll buy the adapter, you'll play it, and then you'll settle on eBay again.
Yeah. It's I don't know if I'm going to do that. What I am going to do is go into the segment break, refresh, get some more water. We've got an informal review. We've got tons of games to talk about. Stick with us. Surely there'll be more to come.
Welcome back to segment 2 of PlayPSVR 2, the podcast, where Adam is finally happy again because he has removed extra functionality from his PlayStation VR 2 unit. I'm not going to argue. Listen, you guys don't know. My phone was blowing up with Adam just being a salty bitch about the PSVR 2 on PC. I'm happy I don't have to deal with it anymore. If Adam's happy, just play whatever's on PSVR 2. I think there's plenty on PSVR 2. I'm not going to complain. But Adam, I do need to talk to you about a game that I think you should play, and that is a game called Compound. Have you heard of this at all? Do you have anything else you want to say before I get into this informal review of Compound?
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like F you. I don't care. The PC sucks. It sucks hard. I'm happy that you are willing to waste your hard-earned free time setting it up. A bummer that probably you're never going to actually play on the PS5 anymore, so we'll probably never play together. So Alex needs replaced. If someone's willing to step up, let me know. Compound's $20, Alex. It's your job right now to show me, convince me to spend $20.
Do you not sense the irony of the fact that you just said Alex is never going to play PSVR 2 anymore? Tell me about this PSVR 2 game that you just played.
Did you play it on PS5 though?
Yes.
Oh, you did? See,
Yes.
you didn't tell me that. So you're switching between the both.
Yeah, and that's pretty painful. I'll admit.
Yeah, like that's idiotic.
Yeah, the fact, like, I know it, if I could buy a second set of controllers, I would pay $100 for another set of controllers, so I wouldn't have to like rejigger the Bluetooth and stuff like that every single time. Are we standing, Adam? Are you standing up? Is that what we're doing? I could do a standing desk.
No, I got on my knees because for whatever reason, sitting in this chair.
Because you're about to start pleasing me, huh?
No, but you know, sometimes I think I'm like sweating because of the lights and it's just freaking hot where I live. So like you get a little sweaty and then you sit on like a really hard chair and it makes your butt like not itch, but like
just
almost
let it be
hurt.
known. Let it be known, listeners, when Adam gets on his knees, Alex stands up, and that's how this podcast goes.
Oh my
Compound. This is our Compound on PSVR 2. This is a PS5 game. Now, it did come out on PC. It came out on Quest. It's been out for a little bit. It's made by Not Dead LLC, and it is $20. Adam, what is a good $20 barometer for you? How much content do you need in a game for it to be worth $20? How many hours? 5 hours?
It's not so much the length as the quality. Now, of course, it can't be an hour.
That's what she said.
But 5 hours is reasonable if it's good gameplay. You're right. I don't want it to overstay its welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this game was $20. That's why when it came out, I watched footage. The trailer of the game, it almost looks like I don't know if you played Hotline Miami. That's a really cool game, but it's like an 80-ish vibe, 80s-ish vibe. And also from the trailer footage, it looks like something like a Doom type game, Doom clone. So kind of like retro pixel art type stuff. And at first, I wasn't too into it when I saw the trailers because I thought, that stuff's fun. It'll be fun to play, I'm sure. Just doesn't look great VR. Well, lo and behold, the character models are actually 3D. They're just like 3D made to look like 2D, which is weird, but it makes sense when you play VR because when you kill an enemy and their like character falls over, it doesn't look awkward like it would if you did like a VR version of the original Doom. This game is obviously first-person shooter. The way the game works is that it's a roguelike, so you kind of spawn at the basement of some building, and you got to work your way up to the top of the building and take out everybody on the floors as you get to the top. You have these different options. They're called mutagens, so it's things you can inject yourself with to change the gameplay style a little bit. So like one is, kind of like an easy mode where you're just like enemies are weaker. Another one is called old school mode where there's a lot more enemies, but you move a little bit faster. And you can carry more guns, but the guns require manual reload and things like that. So you get more modifiers, right? But really, you start the game, you have a pistol. The pistol has unlimited ammunition, but it can overheat. And you just walk through. If you turn your wrist, you have a mini map. You walk around the mini map that's pretty small, and you take out all the enemies. Then you go to the elevator, go up to the next floor, rinse and repeat. The good news. There's a decent amount of enemy variety for what you're having to do. So there's enemies that have armor, there's enemies with machine guns, enemies with shotguns, there's drones that shoot, there's drones that dive bomb, there's like rocket launcher robots going around, there's little tiny robots with a shield that like dive bomb at you, there's like walking tanks that shoot lasers at you and stuff, and then there's bosses who like fly around in jetpacks or have like a massive shield and do huge damage and stuff like that. So it's, I don't know. Do you have any questions about the game so far, Adam? What can I paint in the picture of your mind of this game a little bit more?
So I saw some gameplay of it, and my issue with a lot of the games now, and I know I just keep harping on this thing, and it's a killer. I'm sorry, guys, but a lot of the games, this game included, looks like it might be a good game, but it's just another like shooter. And like, yeah, it's a little original in that it's pixel art and like you mentioned some enemy variety and stuff like that's good, but that's not gonna excite me. Like I can't imagine being like, man, I gotta play Compound. Like it's just like, oh, it's another 3D shooter. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I will say the game is almost in no way is it exceptional, right? It doesn't do anything exceptionally better than any other game. If I had to compare it to a game in terms of quality, it'd probably be something like Light was the Light Brigade. And you had a similar feeling about that, right? That like Light Brigade was fun to play and it was good, but it wasn't like exciting. You didn't get excited about playing it. Is that right?
That's true. Although Light Brigade's pretty high quality. That the reason I don't love it isn't because I don't think it is unique enough or anything. It's just not really my game. It just I don't want to. I to succeed, I have to move very slowly in the game and be very methodical. I don't like that as much. This does not look to be on the same level of Light Brigade. Maybe I'm wrong.
And and I think it is.
Wow.
What it lacks in terms of like the size of the map that you're going through. Light Brigade has pretty big maps, right? What it lacks in that, it makes up for just overall feel. It is a faster paced game. You get through levels more quickly. The gunplay feels great. The starting pistol you have is one of the best pistols I've used in a VR game. It just first I don't know how to describe it. Something about hopping around a corner, looking at the enemy, lining up the shots and shooting a headshot and popping back around the corner so I don't get hit in return. It's one of the best feelings in VR in a VR game. So although the graphics look old and stuff, the feel of the game is very modern and very slick and very enjoyable. And whether I'm using the shotgun or the rocket launcher or the grenade launcher or the assault rifle or the submachine gun or what have you, all the weapons feel really good. It's just excellent shooting mechanics. And if you turn on the old school mode where you have to manually load them, it's really intense situations that start occurring where you're like, okay, I can dual wield these two guns, but to reload, I got to like drop one. If you drop a gun, it just hovers in the air, so it makes it easy to pick back up. That's nice. But I don't know, man. For $20, I was not expecting to like this game as much as I like it. Now, I will say this gameplay style, right? There's not like a great story I care about. The music's, decent. If I stopped playing today, I wouldn't feel like I'm missing anything and I wouldn't feel incredibly compelled to go back. So it's like you could have a very good, like you play for one night for several hours and you're like, this game is amazing and never play it again. And it's like, you've pretty much done what you want to do. So I don't know. There's replayability. It's like the most solid 8 out of 10 type game I can imagine. But for $20, that's a pretty good deal, I think.
Pretty wild to think it's an 8 out of 10. I would have not guessed that. Granted, you are the one that's reviewing it, so it's scoring it. So it's probably really a 6.5 or a 7, probably.
What would you give Light Brigade, right?
I'm sorry. I just don't believe this is on the same level as Light Brigade. I just don't believe it. It's got the roguelike. It's got the variety of like characters. It's got motivation to continue to play to upgrade those characters. It's got little missions. It's got a plot. It's got
Okay, listen, okay. I'll grant you that. I mean, honestly, if I had to give a number to Light Brigade, it'd be like a 9, right? I think Light Brigade's phenomenal.
I would probably give it an 8.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
why I'm
okay,
like,
okay.
I don't think this game's an 8. But again, I
Yeah.
haven't played it, so it's not fair for me to say.
Yeah, but to be fair, to get a game of that quality for $20 is impressive. And then the other thing is, I'm just really considering the moment-to-moment gameplay. The game feels great. The game is very fun to play. It's a perfect game if you'll probably play for like 4 or 5 hours, just like burning through the game, never touch it again, and then like several months down the road, you're like, I'm just going to jump back in a compound, see how it feels. You'll pick right up where you left off, and it's going to feel
just as good as it did last time. It's one of those kind of games, like a great one to show people who are playing VR for the first time. Probably it's not complicated. Run around and shoot bad guys, but it works so damn good. I don't know, man. I really want people to play this game because it's so cheap. It's cheaper than it needs to be, and it's so good and it feels so good to play. So that's why I wanted to talk about it, Adam. Of course, I didn't convince you because it costs money, but hopefully, I convinced some of the listeners to give it a shot.
Where would you put it on the list?
Whew.
Put it on the list. Oh,
I forgot to mention. I looking at the list. I saw VR Skater. I played VR Skater too. That's so good. That game is so good.
what did you play it on? You're gonna have to elaborate what you've played it on every time.
Unless I specify, I assume I played it on PSVR 2. I played it on PSVR 2. That game, VR Skater, is so good. Not enough good
things. Dude, did you
said about
sweat? I sweat like an animal.
Yeah. You don't feel like you're riding a skateboard and you fall off and get hurt or something, but it is one of the best simulations of riding a skateboard, in VR or not, than ever. You need like the timing to do the tricks and stuff in a real sense. It's so good.
Yeah. That's why I love that game. I've never seen a game not only do skating, well, virtual reality game, but also nail it. Like it's a little limited, but like it's good. It's a good game.
But I didn't know you could turn in it, right? I thought this game is cool. The mechanics are cool, but you can't go left and right. You're just going straight, and that's just what you're doing. And there's stuff in your way. You either jump over to do a trick. No, there's turning and stuff. Like, imagine a big developer like the Tony Hawk people trying to make a game in VR. They wouldn't have done it this well. But if you had like a big skate park, this full, in all directions, a place for you to go on the skateboard, it would feel so good in this game. So I just wanted to mention because I played it. It's way better than I thought it was going to be.
I guess we've already put VR Skater on the list.
Yeah.
Fine. But yeah, Compound, put it on.
I'm gonna put it under Song in the Smoke. It's that good. It's very good. I definitely enjoyed it more than Arizona Sunshine 2. You know what this is. Sorry, no, you know what this is. This is like Runner. It does what it says on the box. I'll probably put this just below Runner because I haven't played Runner. I want to give it respect.
Is there a reason we don't have Light Brigade on the list?
We never did like an official review of Light Brigade, yeah.
We should put it on there now too. We both played it. So I would put, gosh, it's tough because like to me, Light Brigade has more replay value than VR Skater does, but VR Skater is more unique. It's more fun. Dang.
Yeah, that is tough because I'm thinking the same thing, right? Like somewhere under
I think Light Brigade is, in my opinion, definitely better than Song in the Smoke. I did not love Song in the Smoke. You did?
I really like Song in the Smoke. I think Light Brigade is if I had a friend who's just getting VR and was like, you can get 2 games, Song in the Smoke or Light Brigade, I'd get Light Brigade.
Yeah. And I think it's better than Afterlife VR too.
Yeah.
So maybe above Song in the Smoke?
You know what? That's a good spot for it. Under Walkabout. Walkabout's like a unabashed recommend, right? Like everybody should get Walkabout. Yeah. I'm happy with Light Brigade above Song in the Smoke. That's a good number 10. Number 10.
Well, technically it's number 11, but okay.
Number 11. Sorry. Yeah. Well, Half Life Alyx has pushed it, so it's number 12 now. Yeah. Okay.
Are we putting PC VR games on this list?
No, because that defeats the purpose of the list, right? Then you just have every game possible on there. Nobody's asking that question.
Speaking of every game possible, let's go.
Well, I do want to say Light Brigade just had like a third version 3.0 upgrade. I haven't played it since, but apparently there's a lot more stuff now, probably new characters and stuff. But all right, Adam, a whole lot of news came out. Let's go through this quickly. So I need you to know what's happening.
I've got some hot takes for some of this stuff.
Did you watch? I put the trailers in the show notes. Did you watch any of those trailers?
Yeah, watched most of them.
Okay. Rad Media Player. I believe this might be the Little Star people. Anyways, this is like Little Star on PSVR 2. It's coming out September 2nd. You can watch movies on your PSVR, on your PS5 in VR on September 2nd. Although you have to subscribe to play offline videos. To download something and play it, you have to subscribe to Rad Media Player to use play your content. But how you feeling about this, Adam?
I don't care. I miss Little Star just because everyone knew it was the porn app. Is this going to be another porn app?
Yeah, but now that the PC VR is out, like it's not as people just watch
Also,
it
I
on
just
computers.
realized the way I said that. I did not use it in that fashion, but I like the fact that everyone just assumed that's what it was and we made the joke.
Yeah,
And Little
it
Star sounds sketchy.
it
Rad
does.
Media
Yeah,
Player doesn't sound sketchy. It just sounds like some dudes who want to watch
yeah.
movies in VR. But I thought we could already do that.
Not on PSVR 2, no. I mean,
So if I pop in a CD of, I don't know, or I should say a DVD of South Park, I can't sit there and watch it in my headset.
in like cinematic mode, maybe. But like if
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
talking
that's
about
what.
like a 3D movie, right? Like you could play 3D Blu-rays in the
Oh,
PS4 in
oh,
VR
like
on
the
this 3D
Hitaka or Hikari Utada concert.
experience. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I don't care much. Let's get to the games.
All right, Max Mustard release date October 3rd. This is the game that is like trying so hard to be Astrobot, but like in so many ways. Um,
Yeah,
Nabrat doesn't like it, but I hear so much good positive things about it because it's already out on Quest and stuff. How are you feeling about it, Adam?
this makes me uh unfairly upset because you're right. This is nothing but an Astrobot ripoff, and not only that, it looks like a child's game. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
more childish than Mario, which is wild. And I know Astrobot wasn't like adult media, but Astrobot had something about that character made it more lovable and a little less of a kids game and more of a like Sackboy. You don't think Sackboy is a kids game, but you know it's kind of in that genre, but you're okay with him as a character.
He's PG, right? He's Sackboy's PG.
Yeah,
Astro is PG, whereas Max Mustard looks very G, right?
exactly. And I hate that. And I hate the fact that it literally looks. I know it's not fair because the people bringing it, it wasn't their decision not to bring Astrobot, but it gives me feelings of like somebody was like, well, you're not getting Astrobot, but here you can have Max Mustard. It's like the second best thing you can get. I don't want the second best thing. I want the single best thing that you could have given us. So you're right. People do love this for some reason. Ah,
So it's that's a difficult thing, right? Like we just want Astrobot, right? And so we're buying this because we want Astrobot, and we're not going to get Astrobot. But we shouldn't hold it against this game, right? It's not like they came out and like this coming out is the reason Astrobot's not coming out, right? If
yeah.
anything, this is coming out because Astrobot's not coming out. So I'm looking forward to trying it. I'll probably get it. It's got good buzz, and the developers seem to have put extra time into the VR2 version, so I think that's worth
And that's the one thing all of these games we're going to talk about. One of the biggest important factors for me is it optimized for the PS5 and PSVR 2? If it
Yeah.
is, I'm much more on board. I'll tell you what, if this is not and it's just a port, I'm not playing it. I'm not playing any of these games if that's the case. I mean, of course, if we get review codes and I actually have to review it, I will, but I'm not paying money for something that isn't optimized. That's the stance I'm taking because you made me, Cuck Cerny. You made me, Sony, with your two freaking CEOs. You came up with the freaking bright idea. Oh, let's just freaking put our headset on the PC VR. Anyhow, moving on. That's Max Mustard.
Chernobyl again comes out December 9th. They announced the release date. Adam, did you watch the trailer for this? I watched the trailer. I was surprised. This almost looks like a Red Matter type game, like an adventure story type game, but there's like time travel elements. It seems pretty cool, but how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, nah, it might be all right. It's just like you're right. It does look like Red Matter, and I didn't love Red Matter. So, uh, I mean, if it's cheap and it's like 2 or 3 hours, I might play it. But any more than that, I don't. I just don't want to play a game like that for that long.
Yeah, it's as interesting as it seems, right? I feel like I've seen 7 versions of this game. Walking simulator, adventure with some puzzles, a little bit of spookiness.
Really, the story needs to be something special. Sorry, I'm like sneezing my butt off now. I got a cold. I'm sneezing. The story really needs to be something special to put this over the top. And unfortunately, you can't tell if the story is something special until you play the game. So it's like, I don't know. It's such a big question mark out there. But I will say, I thought it was going to be a cash in. It actually looks pretty decent from what I saw in the trailer. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I would say I'd wait for reviews, but I'm the one who should be reviewing it. So yeah. Adam, Kayak VR multiplayer has been released on the PC, so they're testing it out on PC before they add it into the PSVR 2 version. Adam, if there was VR or multiplayer in the PSVR 2 version of Kayak Mirage VR, would you be down? Would you reinstall that game?
I'm gonna be honest, I really wouldn't. I played it for Maydays, and I hate to tell you, it's still very visually beautiful and stuff, but it's just not fun. Like you do sweat while doing it, but the physics is wrong. It's hard to like move through the level if you want to be fast. There's not enough in it. No, it doesn't interest me. I will not play it. Probably.
That's a good point, because at first I was like, Adam, it might be fun to hang out and kayak together in VR. But then I realized, like, no, this is multiplayer. Like, we got to have something to do, right? The reason Battlezone's fun in VR is because there's something to do and we get to chat and stuff. I don't want to just sit on a boat next to you in another boat talking, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Me neither.
Me neither. Okay. Kind of a shame. I haven't played it, so maybe I'll start playing it, and maybe I'll have a different opinion. Adam, there was a VR showcase about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. They announced some new games, so I'm going to hit you with these. Hopefully you watch them. Adam, you and I played Arizona Sunshine co-op mode together. Yeah, we did. On PlayStation
Oh yeah,
VR
no,
1.
I know we did. I'm shaking my head that I don't care about this game. I hate the game. I'm not buying it.
Why do you hate it?
It wasn't good. Like I played the first one, and
Yeah.
was the multiplayer was bad. The single player
What was bad?
boring and cliche, and I think it was maybe overly difficult. And I had a horrible time. I didn't like it, so I'm not going to play the remake. I don't care if it's If they paid me $10, I wouldn't waste my time. I'm not doing it. Quit bringing me Arizona Sunshine 2 and remakes of the first game. I'm not doing it.
Okay, well, Arizona Sunshine 2 is a great improvement over the first game. If they remake the first game, just so I get to play, basically so I can play Arizona Sunshine 2 more, that's a great win. So I'm excited
like,
about this.
okay, let's say they came out with a sequel to 18 Floors, and it was called 19 Floors. You gonna buy that? No, the first one sucks so bad that you're not gonna give them another chance. That's the way I feel. But you took the bullet for us and tried it. I'm glad you liked it. I'm not playing it.
Well, $10 is all it takes to upgrade it too. So it's like it's a very meaty game with a very modern engine and graphics for $10. Like, how am I going to say no? Anyways, moving on. They showed trailers and footage of Frenzies, the people who made Synapse and Dreams, their new multiplayer shooter coming out. Adam, do you have any space in your heart for a multiplayer shooter in VR these days?
I do. Crossfire and Pavlov are a bit, I don't want to say intense, but like serious. Yeah. This could fill the need of like a fun, quirky, fast-paced, low pressure, more of you're going to go Rambo and you're just shooting people. A lot of it is going to be on the mechanics of how often do you die? Do you respawn quickly? What's the variety in the gameplay? Like they showed, hey, you may have a 5-round game, but each round is something totally different, like a different style of game. Obviously, you can do teams, so you got a little co-op action. Could be fun. It does look pretty fast-paced. I don't love the whole, choose your face and your color. That's stupid. Like, I don't like the art style they're going for, but I'm interested. It could be good and have a spot in the library, but if they don't get those mechanics right, I think it's going to fall flat.
Yeah, you make really good points there, Adam. I was kind of low on this game just because like a game that's only a multiplayer shooter is a bit like it's just not going to last, right? But you reminded me when you were talking about this and what you're looking for in this of Space Junkies. Do you remember Space Junkies?
Yes.
That 3D, that game was so good. I had so much fun playing it. I think I even played it recently, not realizing that it was turned off. If this game feels as good to play as Space Junkies does, I'm in for it. I can play that. I can come in, once a month and just play a couple rounds, and I'd be happy. Adam, Into the Radius. What is hailed as one of the greatest VR games ever made. It's out on Quest. It's out on PC. But Sony's apparently, I'm guessing, threw a bunch of money at the developers to make a PSVR 2 version that really utilizes the PSVR 2 features. Adam, are you excited about this game at all?
See, that this has the problem of, I mean, it looks fine, but it looks like every other freaking like survival shooter or shooter, right? Like,
But it's single player, it's like open world and survival. We don't really have anything quite like that. We don't have anything of that large scale in VR.
I mean, kind of. I mean, you're right. When you break it down like that way, maybe we don't. But then, oh, it's gonna be like, I don't know. It just doesn't look that original. It's like what?
I agree.
Maybe a No Man's Sky versus and like crossed with, I don't know, Arizona Sunshine almost or something like that. Of course, not like Western, but like you got that modern motif maybe looking
Yeah.
like No Man's Sky and the open world, and then the gameplay and shooting zombies and crap from Arizona Sunshine. Like it didn't excite me. I was like, just another one of these games.
I think it's something we'll have to play to really enjoy. I pre-ordered it just based off all the hype, and I want to support the developers. They posted something on Reddit, and I was like, man, these guys tugged at my heartstrings. So I want to play it. It's like 20 something bucks. Vendetta Forever by In Dreams. Again, the Synapse people. I called this Super Hot meets Killer 7. People were saying it's like Super Hot meets Pistol Whip. Did you watch the trailer for this game, Adam?
I think this is going to depend on, is it optimized for the PS2 or PS5? And if it is, probably play it. Might play it anyway, but I'm not. It all depends. Is it optimized or not? If it's
when you say optimized, what are you talking about? What do you need for it to
I
feel
want
optimized?
the head rumble. I want the eye tracking. I want the maybe the foveated rendering. I want the sense controller utilization. I want all that stuff.
I mean, these are the guys who can do it, right? They made Synapse, although it is a multi-platform game. I just think the concept alone is really ingenious and it looks really fun. There are demos for it out on other systems, and people are saying, "Hey, this is great." There's not a demo on PlayStation, but that's fine. I'm super excited about this. The next thing, Adam, is the Flat to VR Studios. So you know these guys. These are the guys. They were making mods to port flat games to VR on PC. They are now working with the actual developers to port their flat games to VR officially, and these are the first games they've announced. Adam, what's cool is they're supporting PSVR 2, which I didn't expect. I'm happy to see that. Flat Out VR. This is a racing game, pretty popular racing game. Now with VR, it's your kind of racing, Adam. It's like arcade racing, destruction derby type stuff, just kind of going crazy. There's even a mode where like when you wreck, you try to like wreck so hard that it launches your driver out of the window and hit like a target or something like that. Did you watch the trailer for that? You got any thoughts on that?
That one, no. I think we need. Can't believe I'm saying this. We need more racing games. We've got freaking Gran Turismo and we've got VR carts. How are there not more racing games? Mind boggling. So yeah, I welcome it. Again, it's going to suck if I'm certain this is just going to be a port, but sometimes if you need it bad enough, you'll take it, right?
Well, the thing is it'll be a port in the same way that Resident Evil 8 was a port, right? Resident Evil 8 was a VR port. So these are high quality games that are being brought to VR by people who love VR. So I think there's a lot to be optimistic about here. Moving on, Wrath, Eon of Ruin. This is one of those like Doom type clones or Duke Nukem 3D type games in VR. Interested at all?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm more excited. We gotta get moving.
Yeah, we're moving.
I don't care. It's okay.
Okay. What about RoboQuest VR?
I didn't watch this one.
It got a lot of buzz. I don't know why people love this game, but they do. Happy to play it in VR. Trombone Champ, Unflattened Edition. Did you watch this?
Not playing that. Trombone.
Oh, it looks so funny. It looks
Yeah,
good.
just like VR Pigeons looks funny. Like I would like to watch someone else play it, but I don't want to play it.
You're gonna watch me in VR going like,
See, what they need to do, like Stifled, no game uses your voice for stuff. Does that let you use your actual voice?
The verdict's out. We're wondering. I think they might. You gotta
Hopefully, why don't people do that? That's such a cool feature.
Yeah. How about Alien Rogue Incursion? You watch any of the gameplay for that?
See, this is one of those that someone could argue, dude, it's just another freaking alien game shooter. And you would have a point, but there are some genres like horror, like Resident Evil. I'm going to play that every time. I know there's more like it. I'm going to play it every time. This is one. It looks really good, and I'm gonna play this. Yeah, I don't know anything about the Alien series. I don't care. Yeah. It looks good.
The darkness looks really good. The gunplay looks really good. How about Behemoth? Did you watch the new gameplay footage? This game's getting my rocks off, man.
Yeah, you're gonna freaking lose your mind here. Yeah, I mean, is any of it multiplayer?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could play, but yeah, it's probably gonna be a game I'll play.
It's the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners people. They know how to make a game feel good, and you're doing like a grappling hook up a giant while he's walking. It looks great. But Adam, okay, that's all the announcements. But Adam, I was looking through the PlayStation Store. I found about a bunch of games that I didn't know came out. I want to know your thoughts on them. Instead of sales, we're going to do this. Tell me if you're interested. Adam, 4VR Cornhole, $9.99.
Take that $10 and shove up your cornhole. Definitely not playing that.
The Street 10 VR, $4.99.
Dude, I come from the streets. I don't need to play a game to tell me what it's like on the street.
Do you know what this game is? You walk around the same street repeatedly, and you got to try to figure out what's different. And it's apparently like really spooky and scary and stuff.
Oh, that sounds effing dope.
Yeah.
I'm buying that. That's it.
This is at $5. It's like a knockoff of the actual game, but hey, it might be good. $5, right?
I'm buying that. I'm buying. That's awesome. See, that's unique. That's different.
Yeah.
You immediately get my money. They could have had $15. I would have bought that.
How about Forest Farm for $8.99?
Yeah, you better farm for some more money somewhere else, bro, because you aren't getting any green here.
How about K1 Maths Dimension, $9.99? That's not a typo. Just K1 Maths Dimension, $9.99.
Dude, if you can't even learn how to spell, I can't whip out my wallet.
It's European. But yeah, it's like a first-person shooter math game.
Who cares if it's European? They should still know how to spell.
Reading World VR, $14.99. Featuring Sentence Smash, Rhythm Slicer, Word
Quit reading that. I'm not. No, that's what.
You don't want to play Spelling Puncher?
Dude, you're not allowed to play games if you're under 12. Why do you have all these education games?
You don't want to play Spelling Puncher. If you don't want to play Spelling Puncher, how about Syllable Puncher?
I hate you. Move on.
Bocce VR Simulator, $8.99.
Yeah, for all the 83-year-old and freaking grandmas playing PSVR 2, move on.
How about Sky Climb for $14.99?
I don't know what this is, but if it's anywhere close to the top, I would play it.
I think it's to the top-ish. More to the top-ish than Toss was. Sugar Mess, Let's Play Jolly Battle, $16.79. You said you bought it, but you're lying, aren't you?
No, it was $18.88 after I paid for tax on the PlayStation Store. And I don't know. We're about ready to find out. An unofficial review coming up.
Why did you buy it?
If I came to you, I was like, Alex, there's a game called Sugar Mess. Let's play Jolly Battle. You gotta play.
All right, let me know how it is. We gotta move on. Adam, Apollo 13, The Lost Tapes VR for $19.99.
Yeah, no.
Windlands 2, $29.99.
No, Windlands 1 sucked.
Did you play Windlands 1? I did. I loved it.
I watched you play it. That's why I said it.
Well, I'm probably gonna get this. Out of this last game, Umurangi Generation VR for $17.49. Do you know what this game is?
Dude, Japanese can make some good games.
This is a game where you have to walk around an area. There's like a checklist of pictures you have to take, almost like Pokemon Snap. And then there's like an overall mystery that's slowly unfolding as you're like taking pictures and going through this checklist. It looked really good.
Is
when I
it
saw
fun or is it like freaking what's that horrible game I hated? Like a crime scene that you gotta go. Like, is it real?
No. It's like
or is it fun?
it's like quirky and fun. Yeah.
Oh, that might be with the
Watch.
Street 10.
Yeah, watch some footage. I'm probably gonna get this because I watched somebody play it. Like the graphics aren't great, but it's like I don't know. It's like take 5 pictures of graffiti, take a picture of 10 birds. And so you're like walking around the environment trying to figure out how you can get 10 birds in the frame and stuff like that.
I like that. That has a little bit of bug smacks to it.
It does. It's a bit bug smacky. Big smacky.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I think you sold me on it. I haven't even seen it. I think you sold me on it.
Watch it. Watch some videos of it. But yeah, I'm
Nope. I'm going in blind, and if I don't like it, it's your fault. What's also your fault if you don't tell your auntie and your mama and your daddy about this podcast, Play PSVR 2. Now we're covering PCVR and PSVR 2, baby. Thank you for the comments, for the fans, shout outs, all the emails. We appreciate it. We love it. Tom Telfer will do better to make you proud. And just give us your face. That's going to be every thumbnail I make.
We need your face, Tom. Yeah, we need your face.
Contact at playpsvr.com is our email. Gaming is in Session is our YouTube. If you want to play some games, you want to learn some games, keep listening to the podcast. Join our little PSN group or Steam group, and let's play some games. Thanks for watching, folks, and listening to Play PSVR 2, the podcast, where virtual reality is our reality.
Blammo!